Ah, these things are so good. Hey, listen. If you're into Cheez-Its, you need to get hip to these. Because they're stupid. They're so good. They're not sponsoring me, by the way. They're just that good. What's up, guys? TJ here. Thanks again so much for stopping in for another video. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about committing to the process and what exactly that means for us creators and some techniques and tips. What's up, Ollie? You can't see him, but he's down here. What's up, dude? So committing to the process, what does that mean? Essentially, I am trying to develop some certain skill sets. Like last year, I had decided pretty intensively that I wanted to get much, much better at songwriting, producing music, mixing songs. I just wanted to get better at the whole process. Back in 2016, I released my first EP, and it was a batch of songs that I wrote in the late 2000s, back when I was just starting to get into synthesis, using DAW software. I was working in Reason back then, and then the next version up that lets you record audio was called Record, and I was working in and out of that from my parents' basement for years, writing tracks, just kind of getting into the whole idea of writing. So around 2016, I finally had the wherewithal to, all right, I know enough about this and I have enough gear to, let's do this. So I got my buddy Jonathan to mix for me. We got another guy to master for us. I had a friend do artwork, and it all came together, and I put out this 5-song EP. It was called the Learning Curve EP, and it was a really, really fun experience. No expectations went into it whatsoever, and the next couple of years that passed were more towards getting better at shooting videos in there and building an online presence and building up a brand, basically. And the start of last year, I needed to set out a goal. I needed to figure out, what do I want to accomplish out of this? So, maybe this is some leftover drum corps stuff, but I knew that if I gave myself a finite time frame with a specific goal at the end of that time frame, and if I committed to that goal, something great would happen. So that's basically what I set out to do. Each month had a mini goal, with the end of the year being the final big goal. So all this really is to hopefully give you some inspiration on how to set out achieving a new skill, how to get better at something that you want to get better at. It doesn't have to be anything to do with music. It could be cooking. It could be learning how to program. I mean, it could be a number of things, but the mindset is give yourself a goal that you want to achieve and a time frame to do it in, and commit to that process. So I knew when I started last year, if I were to commit to this and make it through the whole year, a couple of things would happen. Number one, I'm gonna get better. I've got 12 instances to take a song idea, expand it out, and produce it as far as I can take it, and then at the end of that month I have to commit to whatever that is and put it out there for the world to see and hold myself accountable to it. So I knew at the end of the year I was gonna be better, and I did get better. And the other thing is now I have a thing I can hold in my hand. I can sit here and say that I put out 12 songs and can compile those into a full-length record. And for someone who's just a drummer, who didn't pay attention to theory in music class in school, and am not proficient at really any other instrument well enough to just get an idea down or something out of my head, it was a really big milestone to be able to say confidently, I wrote all this. I wrote it, I mixed it, and I put it out there for the world to see. So a couple of things that could blend into that might want to deter you from this are expectations. So me personally, I went into this with absolutely zero expectations. I didn't and still don't care what anybody thinks of that material. If anybody listens to it, likes it, doesn't like it, whatever. That is all a byproduct that if you choose to pay attention to it, it could deter you from the process. Another goal, and I'll sidestep that for a second. Another goal for this year was to put my face in front of this camera more and try to share more information and tips about what has worked for me in my home studio and the things that I've learned over the last couple of years, in the hopes that some of you that will watch this will be inspired to do this on your own, or to pick up another skill and take this information and apply it in some other, means for another goal that you're trying to set out and achieve. So, because I guarantee you, and I do mean this, truthfully from my heart, that if you put in the hard work, you stay consistent with it, and you're patient, good things will happen. 100%. Case in point, I started making videos for Instagram in June of 2016. And over the course of starting then and to now, I've significantly improved in my ability to professionally record drums, share it with the world, and get more work, and understand how the whole process works without having to spend a ton of money on tuition, enrolling myself in some program, or training with some, I would love to train with some big producer or mixer or recording engineer. I'm paying attention to the tools that are available to us on social media, on YouTube. Basically anything you want to figure out how to do, there's somebody out there that's probably already figured out how to do it and has a way of showing you how to do it. So anything that you're trying to get better at, I implore you to try this technique and see if it works for you. And if you have anything else to add to this, please drop a comment below, because I desperately want to keep this conversation going, because it did a lot for me in this past year, and it's a framework that I want to apply to so much more stuff that I'm trying to figure out and get better at throughout the next 10 to 15 years at being a recording engineer, as a music producer, as a content creator. I love making videos. I love working on songs. I love writing music. I love creating. And that's essentially what I'm here to tell you, is if you follow these steps, whatever it is you're trying to get good at, something good will happen. Stay persistent. Stay consistent. Stay patient. Keep showing up. Good things will happen. I promise you. I'm serious. These things are so good. It's stupid. So listen, I don't want to talk your ear off. I'm not bragging about putting out a bunch of music. All this is the result of implementing a couple of guidelines and a framework to achieve a goal. That's all this is. And I hope that this information is helpful for you, because it certainly was for me. And if you agree or disagree, again, let's keep the conversation going down in the comments. And that's gonna wrap it up. I just wanted to sit and chat with you guys a little bit about how productive of a 2019 I had. And hopefully some of this information will be helpful to you and the things that you're trying to get better at. So thanks so much for stopping in again. I greatly appreciate it. If you have not subscribed, please do so. Drop a like if you thought that this content was cool and if you think other people should see it as well. TJ here. We will see you on the next one. I totally lost my train of thought, so I'm just gonna eat some Cheez-Its. Think about what I'm going to spend that.